Hi, welcome to Unit 2. This is Secondary Math 2, Semester 2, Unit 2. Triangle similarity and trigonometric ratios. Now, what we're going to do, you want to focus on the properties and proofs for similar triangles that we talked about in our last unit. And if you need help, you can always go to my website and look up some of those recordings if you need some review and help on that. And then we're going to apply trigonometric ratios to find missing sides of right triangles. So the units in this lesson, first we're going to talk about dilations and similar figures, and then we're going to get into triangle similarity. AA stands for angle, angle, then we have side, 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 and side, angle, side. Then we're going to use triangle similarity theorems. Then we're going to get into right triangle similarity. Now this may be new for some of you, so that might be a place you want to go and look at the help video on the website to get a little bit of more help with that. Then there's directed line segments and modeling, trigonometric ratios, and then finally solving for side lengths of right triangles. Now this is a GVC unit. GVC is Guaranteed Viable Curriculum. It's GVC number 4, but it's actually your first one in this semester. So the GVC is I can apply the properties of similar triangles and use trig functions. So be sure to fill out the Google form at the end of 5 of the lessons. There will be a Google form that tells me how you did on the lesson, how you feel about the lesson and the GVC and how you're doing on that. So make sure you do that. Notes can be turned in for extra credit on the Google form. So this is a really great place to use those guided notes or handwritten notes or any other type of notes you have, but make sure you start taking notes at the beginning and then you can turn those in for extra credit on that Google form. Now, one thing that's not in this lesson, but there's a real useful way of remembering things, is what's called SoHCA. And I still do this when I'm figuring out my triangles. It kind of just runs through my mind, SoHCA. So this is the trig function, sine, cosine, and tangent. So this unit is going to introduce those trig functions. Basically, it's a way of remembering how to find those functions. So as you might want to take a screenshot of this or come back to this later time, write it down. So when you get to that unit, you'll be able to know what's going on. But let me just give you an explanation. So sine, when we're finding the sine of an angle, here's our angle theta. The sine is the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Now the hypotenuse of a triangle is always the longest side, the one opposite of the right angle. So kind of you drew a straight line over there, that's the hypotenuse. So when we're talking about an opposite angle or an opposite side to an angle, it's the one that the angle's not touching. That's opposite. So the sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse, the longest side. Cosine is the adjacent angle. That's the side that the adjacent side, the side that the angle is touching. So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, C-A-H. And then finally, tangent of an angle is the opposite side, the side that it's not touching, over the adjacent side, the side that it is touching. So as you get more familiar with that, you'll understand what those things mean, and you can always come back and review this video, but SoHCA is a helpful way to remember sine opposite over hypotenuse, cosine adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent opposite over adjacent. Finally, the key word for this unit is triangle. So you need to go back into your Edgenuity assignment, answer those 2 questions at the bottom, make sure that you type the word triangle, submit it correctly, and have fun with triangles.